Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I hope you're having a beautiful day today, and if not, I hope it gets better. I'm going to go ahead and get into the channeled messages, songs, synchronicities, because it's a lot. So let's get into it. The channeled song for today is 4 a.m. by Grimes, a very interesting song, so I would check that out. The numbers I saw today were 22, 22, 14, 14, 15, 15, 15, 51, and 555. Some of you may be fans of Dragon Age and Critical Role, as well as Cowboy Bebop. That also came out. Aphrodite is also relevant to someone here. Amazonite is also relevant. Kingfisher, the name Carol or Carol Ann. The number 611 and 1616 also came out. Someone could have cried themselves to sleep last night, feeling some raw emotions today. It could be raining where you're at, and the color turquoise is also relevant. So those are your synchronicities for today. Let's hop into the dice and see what astrological house this collective reading will be in. Looks like the 10th house for career and reputation. And let's see what zodiac sign it'll also be in. Okay, so looks like Libra in the 10th house. Very interesting. A balancing of the career and finances. Very interesting. Let's get into the runes as well. Hello, Stormborn. Hello, everyone who's hopped in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time and your attention. It looks like this is going to be a read about career and reputation for the collective. So let's see. That's interesting that Aphrodite came out and the sign is in Libra because she rules Taurus and Libra. That is a Venus. That's associated with Venus. So Venusian energy. Ooh. Have the runes here. Let's get some details. Looks like we have Algies. Oh, thank you so much. Algies for protection. Love that in the finances. And then we have Nathis for need. Need, desire. Protection of a need or desire in the realm of career and reputation. Let's look at charms. I love to get into all the details. I'm just looking away because it's a container and I don't want to influence what I pick because I can see it. Okay, we have, oh, this little charm. This is kind of like, when I see this, I think of a void, like a black hole. So like a dark night of the soul, a darker time. And this is Saturn, which Saturn is kind of like discipline, harder times. That makes sense. So we may have some difficulties in this region at this time. But I do also see the ancestors. This charm comes out all the time. It comes out all the time, but that does make sense for the protection. So there's some kind of protection and around this need in the realm of career and reputation in the sign of Libra. So let's hop on over to the tarot cards and see what we got going on. If you hear background noises, that's probably my kiddo. He's currently playing a level that's a little frustrating, so don't mind him. Also, there may be some issues with finances just because Jupiter is currently in retrograde. So just be aware of that. It's around Cancer, so big emotions around our luck, manifestations, and money. I'm just looking at all of my tarot cards, and I'm trying to see who wishes to talk today. Looks like Rider Waite wants to talk today. I have like so many. So many, and I always want to know which one wants to chat. So yeah, some of you may be working out really, really late. The song was 4 a.m., so some of you could be night shift, or maybe you have more than one job and you're working very late. You may be out at 4 a.m. That may have issues with sleep. I have this energy of feeling really raw. That could also have to do with all these current retrogrades. We have currently Neptune in retrograde, Saturn in retrograde, Chiron in retrograde, Mercury in retrograde, and Jupiter in retrograde. So it is quite a mess up in the cosmos right now. Now, this isn't really necessarily meaning that you need to be afraid of these energies. These generally just talk about areas of your life that are being brought up to be healed, right? So with Jupiter in retrograde in Cancer, that usually revolves around like family, emotions, but kind of like your upbringing on how you view your finances, luck. So long time wounds in those areas. So let's see. What's going on with the collective today? What do they need to know in regards to the career and reputation, this protection and need? We already have these big challenges coming in, or challenges. Oof. You may be going through a time of big challenges, times of adversity in regards to this, and there are incoming changes. Spirit wants for you to take better care of yourself, get some rest. There is a balancing and harmony. You are in alignment. You are taking the correct steps. 1, 2, 3 just showed up. Trust in spirit. There are new opportunities coming in, and they just want for you to trust in those. Yeah. Trust in those because they are coming in for you. Oh, goodness gracious. So yeah, we have the Judgment here, and we also have the Two of Wands, but it was sideways. I just had a ton of cards fly off into the distance. Let me grab those real fast. That was definitely a user error, but that may feel like some of you may be feeling like really chaotic, can't quite. Oh, I get what this means. This is that moment of like when your paycheck comes in and it kind of flies out of your hands before you can even really be happy that you have money. It's that energy. Oh yeah, the Ten of Wands. It's that energy of getting your paycheck and within the next 5 minutes, all of your bills and stuff are paid and you no longer have spending money. That's what that feels like. So we have the Judgment here in reversed. So feeling like you're being punished by spirit or the cosmos or whatever you believe in. And feeling like you can't make any plans. Yeah, because the Two of Wands is all about planning. You see how he has the whole world in his hands. He's standing on top of his castle and he's looking out over the waters, kind of in that energy of what's coming up next. When I see cards sideways, that tells me it can go either or. So it's like we want to make plans, but for whatever reason, it feels like we can't ever make plans. Like we feel like no matter what we do, we can't ever make plans because we have too many obligations, too many responsibilities. Okay, that's why. Well, I'm here to tell you, you are not being punished by spirit. That's not how they work. They don't do that. This is just the energy at this time to heal long-time wounds around money. Yes. This is a collective. You can ask a question, but I'm not answering personal questions. I don't do that on here because I feel people's personal business should remain personal. It should not be put out on live. But I do answer personal questions at the link in my bio. I'm more than happy to answer anything you have. Of course. So, tell me more. Tell me more about this. Yeah, it's like really heavy energy. You would do best to get Amazonite. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it's Amazonite. It represents harmony, balance, and communication. So it's like healing as well. It's a beautiful color. Goodness gracious. You may also feel like you're doomed to never get a handle on your finances. Like I've been doing tarot for 5 years, but the way this is shuffling makes me feel like a novice. That could be relevant. Like working so hard, but it feels like you can never quite get your hands on your money. You can never hold on to it. And that's a lot of disappointment and grief around that. Yeah. Tell me more, Spirit. I see that card upside down in the deck, but I don't listen to those. They need to come out. Tell me more, Spirit, and don't be shy. Undercurrent of unhappiness, not being satisfied. I mean, understandable if you can't ever make plans because you're always busy. That would suck. But I do see that there are positive changes incoming. Luckily for all of you here, the Mercury retrograde ends on the 29th, and this Saturn retrograde in Aries ends on the 28th. So these challenges should be ending around the 28th, and these communication problems, self-sabotage issues, and yeah, kind of like this heavy energy, in our heads energy should dissipate around the beginning of December, okay? We'll still have a little bit of confusion in some places because of the Neptune retrograde. And Jupiter's retrograde ends in March, but that doesn't necessarily mean you won't have money until March. That just means you're still working through those wounds. It's a longer process. But at least feeling like you're getting one bad thing after another should end around the start of December. Welcome back, Sarah. Hey, tell me more. That's so interesting that it's being quiet right now. Don't be shy, open up. Tell me more. We have this protection and this need for protection. Do we feel like we need to protect our finances? Is that what's happening here? Yeah, going through it, but feeling like maybe we need to hold on to every penny we get. Oh, that did a whole flip. I see that 10 of Pentacles here, which is all about legacy and like lasting money. This is like the most amount of money you could have. It's the ultimate form of abundance, right? It's the money, it's the family, it's the health, it's the wealth, it's the home. So yeah, 2 10s here, 10, 10, that's cycle completion. So this is a time where you are kind of, excessive obligations and responsibilities around money, career, home, and feeling like we can never make plans, and it feeling very unfair. Like we want that 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, we feel like it's not fair. It's not fair. We're always restless and antsy. Why can't I ever get a leg up on my finances? Why can't I ever make plans? Why can't I get this promotion? Yeah, it feels unfair. But we have the King of Pentacles here. It's like we keep getting these energies of like, we're actually really good with our money and we have the ability to get to this, but for some reason, we feel like we need to protect every penny. Is that an old wound, perhaps? Tell me more. Because yeah, I saw the Kingfisher, which is a symbol of peace, prosperity, and good fortune. And I have all these really nice numbers in here of staying optimistic, things calming down, so that you're very strong. But there's also this undercurrent of anxiety. Yeah, the Page of Pentacles, like we can't ever it's like we always have just this coin, but it's not quite enough. Thank you. Feels like it's not quite enough. We are in the energy of the king, but we feel like this little page here, this new start. We feel like we don't ever quite have enough. It's like we barely have enough to cover the bills, but that's the end of it. It's like waking up, working, going to sleep. Tell me more, please. Now I see all these cards underneath that are flipped. So there's some serious inner conflict going on. I saw that Tower reversed. So there's like a resistance to change here, a resistance to an old foundation needing to crumble regarding finances, and this definite deep dissatisfaction with where our life currently is. So all of these planets doing what they're doing right now is kind of bringing those up. The stuff you're trying to kind of keep under the surface. And the card's not talking as much as they are. It's telling me that you don't want to talk about it, but you're here. So what do you mean? You want me to bring it up? Oh yeah, it's just resistance. Yeah, maybe it's because we're worried that if we do make those changes, we'll lose it somehow. Yeah, that would make sense. Like, we do have that king energy, but we feel like this page. Like, for some reason, we feel like we don't have the capability to hold on to it. Who told you that? Who taught you that? Now, there's definite issues in our self-confidence. I'm seeing a ton of yellow and a ton of blue. So there's some wounding in our sacral chakra, as well as our throat. We have a hard time bringing things up, expressing ourselves. And we also have a hard time believing in ourselves. There's some deep confidence wounds here regarding finances. Oh, all these upside down cards. What are you doing? Why are you hiding? Yeah, I feel a lot of resistance as I try to tap into this energy here. You could be older. Yeah, there we go. Because we're trying to heal. We're trying to get this healing in. Let me just cover her because traditional tarot kind of has everybody's bits and bobs out, if you know what I mean. So let me cover her up. But yeah, we have this beautiful star here, which symbolizes healing. You could be an Aquarius, right? If you hear noises in the background, that's my kiddo. He's having the best time. We're trying to find healing, but it is a rough ride. Yeah. So we may also be working on our mindset around money, and it is just a very rough journey at this time. As I said before, this is a collective, not a personal. I generally believe that personal should stay between the person and the reader, not necessarily out for everyone to hear. So if you have personal questions, want a personal reading, I offer that at the link in my bio. Feel free to check that out. Otherwise, stay around a while. I might answer it on accident. Or on purpose, who knows? I see the moon here, so we're definitely looking at darker elements. So we may actually be starting to look at our mindset and beliefs around money and career. I see the Knight of Cups and I see the Seven of Pentacles. Oh, okay. We're definitely looking at our life right now and kind of, you see how he's kind of looking at this crop here? And he kind of looks unhappy. It's like looking at it and going, what have I been putting all my time and effort into, right? What have I been doing? Is this really worth my time? Is this really worth my effort? That makes sense with all these retrogrades happening right now. There's just this noticing of what you've been putting all your time into and deciding whether or not you actually like it. Yeah, we see this person looking at the past, and then we see this next card heading towards the future. And the Knight of Cups is the most romantic knight in the deck. In terms of career and reputation, though, this would be kind of like, maybe you have been in the same law firm for 15 years. You're trying to pay off your student loans by going public. You know, they have the loan forgiveness thing. You may have decided to do that, but you actually really, really hate working for that law firm and you want to do something else entirely. So it's like this back and forth of, is this even worth my time? Maybe I should go somewhere else. That kind of energy. Yeah, I just saw the Eight of Cups. There's like a desire to walk away from a career that's really sucking the soul out of you. Yeah, this desire to start over, this desire to start new, but there's also a fear of whether or not that's even worth the time. Like, it's interesting because it's like, should I follow my heart and look to the future? Should I really leave this and become new? Maybe you're older in age and so you're like, is it okay to start over? There may be wounds in that area, a need for a perspective shift. So realizing that I mean, realizing that you can literally change your mind at any time, and that doesn't mean that you failed or anything. It just means it's time for something new. You know what I mean? There's something to really be said when you look at successful people, right? Um, wait just a minute, baby. There's something to be said about successful people. There's a lot of people who make their careers, they like change their career line in their 40s. And then they go on and they become extremely successful. So like you don't have to have it all figured out. Even when you're in your 50s, we're all just kind of flailing about on this hunk of earth. So you don't have to have it all figured out. You can change your mind at any time. You can change careers at any time. It doesn't mean you were a failure. You were there for a long time. You can always start over. You can always head forward. There's always a reason. Like, there's no reason to think that just because you spent so much time in a specific career field that you have to stay there forever, right? You're like, oh, but what about all my schooling? What about all the time I put in? And that's great. You can take those lessons and apply them in the new place. That doesn't mean you wasted your time and your effort. Not at all. That honestly means that you're now coming to this new place with a whole new perspective and you can bring in fresh new ideas. There you go. Yeah, there's definitely a need here. This keeps trying to come out. There's a need here to examine this. You may have this lobster represents the armor that we wear. And then you have the wolf, which is our untamed wild side. And then the dog, which is our tamed side. That kind of is what society expects of you. But the moon shines its light on all. You're this little crawdad, this little lobster, trying to trek through this little path, through the gates of intuition between your higher self and your shadow side, the ego, what everyone's taught you growing up, versus what our hearts really want. And we're heading off towards the mountain. And there's just this need here to kind of look at that armor that you wear regarding all of this. Yeah. But I can see that you're trying to do that. And it's just been a hard road. Yeah, that desire to walk away, that desire to leave things behind. Tell me more. Thank you all so much for being here. I know I keep looking down. I get really focused in, so forgive me. Tell me more. Because I feel like when I'm looking off in the distance, I'm trying to focus on messages. Tell me more, please. Now that we're finally opening up. Oh, okay. We don't feel... Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles is the mini Empress. She's usually representative of someone who is in their garden. They're perfectly comfortable where they're at. They're fine with not knowing where their destination leads. They're fine with following their intuition. And they're also aware with this little snail here that sometimes things take time, right? They're full of all that confidence. They're good. In the reverse, though, we do not feel that way. No, we currently do not feel that way. There's definitely deep disappointment and regret here, and definitely feeling very guarded and beat up. Beat up. Like I said, we feel like we're being punished. We feel like we're being punished. Yeah, it could be the sense of, did I make the wrong choice and now I'm being punished forever for it? Am I stuck here forever? Am I doomed to never have enough to go on vacation or, just enjoy myself? No. Those kinds of feelings stem from something someone taught you in the past. Yeah. And this feeling like you have to stay somewhere just because you put a lot of time and effort into it. Which again, someone told you that's how things work. So yeah, someone here may be older, because that sounds a lot like, what is it? Yeah, you may be Gen X, and you may have had parents who were like that, the boomers, who tell you that you must stay at a company because, loyalty and all that stuff. And that's not really how things go. Okay, so I'm trying to cover them up because, yeah, the traditional tarot, everybody's bits and bobs are out. But essentially what I'm trying to show you is the Lover's card. So we're currently going through a balance within our own inner psyche. The Lover's card, when it's not in a romantic reading, it talks about choices. It talks about, like I just said, our light side. It talks about our divine feminine side, which is the nurturing, gentle side. It's the one that follows intuition. It's full of that bright creativity, being in the flow, relaxing, really sitting in the ease. And then the masculine side, you can tell, right? Because she's looking up at the divine, at intuition, at source. And around her is the trees that are covered in fruit, all the green and the abundance in the world. And the divine masculine, and over here on the left side, he's more tied into the practical, the 3D. He's staring at the feminine, right? The one who is staring up at intuition. And next to him is all that fire. He represents our ambitious go-getter side, the one who is go, 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 has all that drive and ambition, motivation, those kinds of things. That's the action to achieve the goals that the feminine dreams up, right? The divine feminine side of yourself is the dreamer, and the divine masculine side is the doer. You have to have a balance of both. So we're currently balancing this. We're balancing this part of ourselves because we may have some wounds regarding the material realm, which is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Especially if you're part of the Gen X generation. The boomers have a very, they have a very extreme viewpoint on how the material world works. So they are the type who tells you that if you're not doing well, it's your fault. And don't really believe in you leaving a place in order to start over new in order to be happier, right? That's generally the vibe there. And that would cause a lot of insecurity issues around money. They would also be the type that would tell you that if you're a specific gender, you should be providing or you should be doing this. So there could be some wounds there on feeling like, well, if I'm a man, I have no choice but to work myself to death. I have no choice but to work myself to death because if I don't, I'm a failure. And that's irrelevant. I wouldn't really worry about that. That is their specific view of reality. It's not actually reality. Yes. But yeah, that we're balancing those parts of ourselves. So we may have some divine feminine wounds. We may have wounds within our confidence, within our feeling like we're allowed to dream, feeling like we're allowed to receive, and feeling like we have to work, and suffer and work until we eventually earn the right to enjoy life. Yes. That King of Wands. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, the King of Wands. It's like, yeah, and the Magician here. We're trying to bring forth this go-getter energy to bring in more abundance. Yeah. So the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands here. So you're definitely someone who actually is pretty decent with your money. And you are someone who is very ambitious. We've just had some bad luck. But that's not really a big deal, right? It sucks, but that doesn't mean you're a failure. That doesn't mean you've done anything to mess it up. You're not being punished. We're just going through some stuff right now. All right, so we have a what. Let's get into why. Who else wants to talk? Steampunk wants to talk today. Okay. You might have darker hair. Yeah, I'm getting brunette. Let's go. Let's figure out why you need me to tell you this at this time. Why you've even come across this live to be told this. Because I'm pretty sure you're aware that you're not satisfied with your life currently and are trying to figure out how to make changes, but are getting a bit of a bump in the road on the journey. Yeah, Libra is also the realm of balancing. So that balancing is happening, and that need for protection. Yes. Why do they need to hear this at this time, Spirit? Why do they need to hear this at this time? Ooh, flippers. Why do you need to hear this at this time? The Lovers came out again, because we're balancing. That was weird. It came out and it was upside down at first and then flipped itself over. So we're definitely going back and forth between those self-sabotaging cycles and trying to right ourselves, trying to balance ourselves. So yeah, going for, I need to work. Yeah, I need to work. But I can't ever like rest. I can't ever take a break. I can't ever like actually enjoy my life. We're going from that energy into, why do I need to work all the time? Why, like these successful people out there go on vacations, they work 4-hour work days for 4 days a week and still make a ton of money. And what is it about them that's different from me? Why do they deserve it and I don't? So we're kind of leaving that thought process behind at this time. And it's hard. It's not an easy journey to make. It is not an easy thought process. There is nothing more rewarding and challenging than going within and healing deep-seated wounds that like have been kneecapping you your whole life. It is a very rough process, but it is so worth it in the end. Because this is the key to freedom. It is the key to actually being free in your life. When you start stepping into it, yeah, kind of removing the suffering from your life, the self-imposed suffering. Yes, why else do they need to hear this at this time, Spirit? Thank you. The Nine of Swords, because we're in our head about it. Okay, so yeah, because we're on this journey, we're very much riddled with anxiety, have nightmares over it, kind of being like, oh, what am I doing? I should just keep doing what I'm doing. It's eventually I'll strike out. Eventually I'll leave that behind. Eventually I won't feel so broke. Eventually I'll make it. Yeah, if I just suffer, yeah, this is very much Gen X mindset. And if you're not Gen X, but it's very much been taught to you by someone that you have to suffer in order to be happy at some point. And like, yes, but a lot of people take that to mean that in order to be happy, you must sacrifice and sacrifice to the point of not even wanting to be on this planet anymore in order to just have an avocado toast or a coffee. And that's not what that is meant to mean. You are not supposed to suffer to the point of wanting to erase yourself from existence just to have a cup of coffee, okay? So we do have this in the sideways. And like I said before, when I see it like this, it either means we go up or down. And it's funny because this is the World card. This is completing the cycle. When it is in reverse, it talks about repeating cycles, right? The self-sabotaging behavior that keeps you in this feeling that you can't ever make plans because you're always busy or you have all these obligations and feeling like you're being punished, versus doing it different this time and not being in that energy anymore. So we're currently in that process. We're currently trying to break that cycle. Yes. Yeah, it's kind of like when you start a new business, but you've been working 9 to 5 your whole life and everyone tells you that 9 to 5 is the way to go. New business is very risky. You're never going to make it. Yeah, 9 of Cups in that sideways. There it is again. Yeah, it really feels like that. So then the whole time you have this new business, you're like, what am I doing? I should just go get a 9 to 5. I should go back to that job that at least was giving me a stable paycheck. No. So this in the sideways, again, back and forth, right? Chasing what makes us actually happy. The Nine of Cups is the wish card. It is a very happy card. In the reverse, it's being deeply dissatisfied with your life. It's your wish not coming true. We're currently in that process, right? That process of that never-ending cycle of life feeling like it really, really sucks versus changing the wheel and making it go upright so that we're actually chasing our happiness. We're actually achieving that happiness. So that's what we're doing. That's why you need to hear this, because you're currently going back and forth. We're teetering between the two. You're right at that edge. So this is why. You're here because I'm supposed to help you think. That's why. That's my job. I'm a tarot reader. I am here to make you think. So we're currently in that sideways. Tell me more. The new moon is tomorrow as well in Scorpio. It will blend beautifully with this Mercury retrograde. And new moons are all about manifestation. So I know not everyone's woo-woo, not everyone's all witchy and stuff like that. But under the new moon, that is the perfect time to write out your goals, right? Especially since tomorrow is the day of Jupiter, right? Jupiter is luck, abundance, manifestation, right? Thursday is the day of Jupiter. So tomorrow is the perfect day to just write down your goals and to put yourself in that energy of chasing after what you really want, okay? How fortuitous. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, we have that Four of Cups because we're trying to leave behind that boredom. Look how bored he is. Like, look, he's bored. Boredom. We're trying to leave this behind. We're currently trying really hard to leave that behind. We've already done that. We already know what it's like to feel like we're betraying ourselves, working ourselves to death when there's a whole world out there that we could be exploring and we're always stuck inside working. We're done. We're done. We've got all the merch that comes with that. We have lived it. We're tired. Why else do they need to hear this at this time? Thank you guys so much for your likes and for being here again. I can't ever say that enough. Yeah. We've already been through the cycles of self-betrayal, of being tired, of being bored, being dissatisfied. And we want change, and we're trying to step towards change, but we don't necessarily know how to choose different. And that's okay. Honestly, in order to make changes, all you got to do is approach a problem differently than you did the first time. Now, you see how this is more orderly? That means that chaotic energy, we're actually trying to make plans. Are you up or down? Sideways still, okay. That Knight of Pentacles. Okay, yeah, it's kind of feeling like, again, hello. That's sideways. So either putting in all that effort day by day, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck. It talks about daily grind, showing up and doing that effort day by day by day, versus not doing that, right? Reversals are pretty straightforward, but yeah, it's like, do I really want to show up and put this effort in day by day by day, or do I want to do something different? Yeah, do I really want to invest in the time that I've been doing this, or do I want to pursue different? Yeah, I mean, if it just leads to more of the same, if you're not happy there, you don't, why would you keep working there? Not that I'm telling you to quit your job, but that's just something to think about. If you've already been doing something a certain way and it's causing you pain and you hate it, then you already know what doing more of it will create. You've already lived it. You are already aware. If you're not happy, but you keep going that way, you're going to still be unhappy, especially if you've been working there for 15 plus years. Like, you already know. So, I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you, right? Free will must be respected. Free will must be respected. That's the number one law in the universe. You choose. What else do they need to know, this Spirit? Yeah, it's like, people always tell you to grow up, but like, why? What does that even mean? Thank you, Spirit. That moon again. Yeah, we're currently in that energy of really shining light on that armor that we wear, that thing we hide from. We don't want to look at it. We don't want to look at it. And I'm not saying here, I say this a lot, right? When I say that you learned this from someone in your past, I'm not saying that you went through a tumultuous childhood. I'm not saying I'm not saying that people were malicious in telling you these things. These were just their realities that they passed on to you, right? And you do not have to accept them. There's no law that says you must. You must work at the same place your entire life, even though you hate it. You must be XYZ. You must hate yourself for all of eternity. There's no. Spirit doesn't want that. The universe doesn't put, like, we don't choose to live here in order to suffer the entire time and then die. That's not why we're here. We're here because we want to learn lessons and we want to choose ourselves. And we keep repeating the process until we hit the cycle where we finally choose ourselves, and then we get to go to the next chapter. I don't need a card for that. You should be prioritizing your own free will. You should choose yourself always. This is a collective reading, not a personal. If you want a personal reading, I offer that at the link in my bio. Personal things should stay between yourself and the reader. I don't want to air out your dirty laundry, okay? That just doesn't sit right with me. I don't like doing that. But stick around, because I might answer that just off the collective. Especially since this is in the realm of career and reputation. Yes, we're currently flip-flopping. We're trying to figure out how to break that cycle, but we haven't yet looked at the armor. We're still wearing the armor, but we haven't looked at it yet. It's scary. Yeah, especially since in this specific deck, you see how instead of the wolf, it's a cat? That independence. That fiery, I do what I want. I'll knock the glass over if I want to. Versus the dog who listens to commands and does everything you want them to and all that stuff. Who's well-trained, obedient. I think you should knock the glass over. It's just a glass. Yes. Why else do they need to hear this at this time, Spirit? The kiddo's just laughing his butt off over there. Why else? Yeah, because we want protection. Because we're just going through it. But these are lessons we need to learn. Yeah, Six of Wands. Oh, I see. We're hoping for that recognition. We're hoping for the parade. That's what we want. We want rewards for our efforts. Yeah, and that's due to past internalized pain. I'm telling you. Yeah, it's kind of like the family member that never said they were proud of you for what you did. And so now you're always looking for ways to prove to yourself that what you're doing is worth your time and effort. Well, I'm proud of you. You're doing a great job, okay? I don't know which someone didn't tell their kids that they were proud of them, but I'm a mom, and I'm here to tell you that I'm proud of you. Like, actually, though. If you got up and you breathed today, I am proud of you for existing. And if you are working on changing your mindset, I'm even more proud of you, and so is Spirit. Because that's not an easy journey. It's very hard to do. Because that is literally the ultimate form of loving yourself. Loving yourself is choosing yourself. And a lot of people say that's selfish, but it's not. Because even on an airline, you have to put your own oxygen mask on in order to save other people. Same premise. How are you going to help anyone? How are you going to show up for anyone if you're not taking care of yourself? We have judgment here. You see how this is in the upright? Earlier, we got it in the reversed. This is a wake-up call. This moment in time is your wake-up call. They're trying to get you, Spirit is trying to get you to peel back this armor. They're trying to get you to look at that thing that you're avoiding, because that's the key to your 10 of Cups. That's the key to your ultimate happiness, okay? I've been getting that energy a lot lately of people having stuff buried in their past, a thing that they've always wanted to do but were afraid to do because if someone else told them they shouldn't be doing it. A need to look into the past in order to grab the key that unlocks your future. Because there's wounds People are healing at this time. Deep wounds are coming up. 7 of Wands. Yep. All these unsolicited opinions, all this advice, quote unquote, right? Well-meaning advice, but just because someone is well-meaning in their advice doesn't mean it's good advice. Anything else, Spirit? Yeah. There's definitely, if you look in that past, at this internalized pain that we're currently trying to bury, that we're hiding behind this armor, you're going to figure it out. I'm telling you. That will complete the cycle and you will be able to move forward. Because we have deep wounds around money. Money, security, stability, and self-confidence. And it's a lifelong one too, because this is during that Chiron retrograde, and Chiron is the immortal healer. It's the wound that follows you your whole life. And it's in Aries. New starts, go-getter energy. Wounds around go-getter. Wounds around starting new. Wounds around being independent, around rebellion. Anything else, Spirit? Thank you. Knight of Wands, yeah, just going for it. Just going for it. That's the wounds. That's what we're guarded against. Look. Look. The little telescope over here. Looking at this person, this Knight of Wands that says go for it, do the thing, and like do it recklessly, do it anyway. We're scared. We're scared of it. We're scared of it because we're beaten up and we don't want to chase after it. Well, yeah. We're scared of our own motivation. We're scared of our own dreams. 9/11. That adds up to 11 for the Justice card. Interesting. That balancing out them scales. Libra again. 9/11 is a number that is like a warning sign. It's a call. It's kind of like judgment. It's the trumpets blaring. It's the thing. They're pointing at it and they're saying, you need to look at this. You want the change. This is where things need to change. My ears started ringing on the left side. Material realm. High pitch. Angels talking. Material realm. Anything else, or should I move into the what do they need to do about it? The High Priestess. Yeah, we're ignoring our intuition. That's why we're afraid of our intuition. The moon is all about intuition. Intuition shining a light on the armor, and we're ignoring it. We're ignoring it. And it's funny because she's doing tarot. That's funny to me. We're ignoring our intuition. We're ignoring our soul calling to go somewhere else, or we're ignoring that call. Oftentimes that thing that kind of nags at us our whole lives, that inner fire for something, that one thing we regret not doing, that is your soul talking to you. That is your heart. That is the reason you're here on this earth, in this lifetime, is to go after that thing that you can't stop thinking about. That one thing that if you were on your deathbed today, you would be like, I really wish I'd done that thing. Do it. That's the thing. That's why you're here. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, because we are in lack mindset. We are in scarcity. We feel like we're never going to get enough. We're never going to get enough. Never. We feel like we're always going to be poor. We won't have enough resources. We can't chase after our dreams because we don't have enough. I learned this from someone who teaches about finance, someone who's very successful, right? And I will tell you who she is. She's Scarlett Cochran, and she runs the, she just changed the name of it. It's called the, it's escaping me. It was originally One Big Happy Life, but I think it's the Bespoke Life now. Yes. She's someone who went from a broke single mom straight out of the Marines at 19, right? Broke single teen mom. no education around finance, who then became a very, very successful financial person. She was a lawyer, right? Worked in the public sector. And then she started out private sector, then went public sector. And then she quit being a lawyer entirely and started her own business being a coach, like a financial advisor, but on YouTube. Something you would never do. You would never leave your cushy lawyer job of like 10 plus years to go start a YouTube career telling people how to save money. But she makes, I think, 6 to 7 figures a year now, right? And what she said is that you are your biggest asset, not money. You. Because you are the one who gets the money. You showing up is how the money gets into your account. You are the one that does the work. You are your asset, right? When you feel like there's never enough, what are you talking about? You're alive. There is enough. You can always get more money. And you're like, but how? Well, that's simple. You have a ton of skills. You have a ton of reasons why you're valuable. It's just a matter of figuring out how you can apply that, right? Like, for example, I've been in the military. I am a classically trained chef, yet here I am doing tarot readings, right? This is something I've done for several years on the side, not getting paid for it, deciding I'm going to do that instead. I didn't lose my ability to cook. I didn't lose my ability to meal plan or menu prep or anything like that. I'm still doing that at home. I didn't lose any of the stuff I learned from the military either. None of the tech skills, none of the discipline, none of that. I didn't lose it. Now I just apply it to my business, to everything I do here, right? None of that left to me. It's still with me. And that's the same for you. Any skills that you've gotten in this lifetime, you can apply anywhere. And that's what makes you so valuable, right? Any place you end up in, you bring your own unique spin on things because you're the one who lived these experiences. Yeah. You're your biggest asset. Because as long as you're alive, you can always go get more money. Even if it's just a couple cents. Yeah, and we have the Two of Pentacles here in the reverse. Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that, and they work themselves into the ground. They don't take care of themselves, right? But the Two of Pentacles, that's poor time management. That's not having our priorities in order. And when you burn yourself into the ground, you harm your most valuable asset, which is yourself, right? If you are sleep deprived, you can't show up at work as your best self because the brain can't function without proper sleep. If you're not feeding yourself well, you don't have enough energy throughout the day, so you crash a lot. So you get the 3 p.m. sleepies. You know what I mean? If you are unable to calm your stress down a little bit, then you have the potential to fall into things like depression. You have the potential to snap at other people and push away your support system. Like, it's so important. And you don't necessarily have to have billions of dollars to take care of yourself. You just need the knowledge to apply these things in order to take care of yourself, right? For example, right, calming techniques, you don't need a therapist for. You just need to learn how to do calming techniques. Therapists are here to give you those techniques. They teach you the tools you need in order to self-soothe, right? They teach you those things, like the breathing technique of breathing in 4 times, holding it for 4 times, and then breathing out for 4 times. That's a form of grounding. That's a form of self-soothing, right? That's what a therapist would teach you. They would teach you how to do those things. In the form of nutrition, right? You can go to the store and you can buy the store brand, right? The cheapest thing you can get. It's not going to be the most healthy, that's fine, right? But you can still make a nutritious meal, right? It's not easy. No, it's not. And I'm right there with you. I know I don't have a huge budget either. But as someone who has been in the food industry, as someone who was classically trained, I know how to turn cheap food into a nutritious meal for my family. So, you know, the information is out there. It's finding the information. And once you have it, you can apply it anywhere. You can take it with you. And that's why you're your most valuable asset. You're always growing. You're always learning. You're always improving. And therefore, you're able to go bring more abundance into your life. It's just a matter of remembering that you're your most important asset. Okay? The King of Cups as well in the reversed. We're drowning in our feelings, is what that says. We're drowning in our feelings over this. Yeah, we're currently, and understandable, again, I understand. I'm not saying this to roast anyone at all. I'm in this collective, I get it. Yes, I can understand why you would be down in the dumps. I understand why you would be so in your head and frustrated and upset, you know. Setback after setback would do that to anyone. Feeling like we can't ever celebrate. Again, that feeling of I can't celebrate myself. I can't ever do anything because I'm not working hard enough. I'm not working hard enough. I'm not getting enough. Yeah, no. No. That's not why we're here. We're not here to work ourselves into the grave. That's not why we're here. Okay, I have our what and I have our why. Now I want to ask Spirit what the hell we do about it, right? Because they can be all vague and out there with the advice, but we want to hear the practical, what do we do about this? What do we do about these feelings and peeling back the layer, right? We need to do it, but how? What do we do? So, who wants to talk? Purple. Purple wants to talk. This tiny little deck. Oh, start small. Okay. Start small. Easy peasy. Start small. Because it's like we're already resilient, but you get tired of being called strong. You're so strong. You put up with so much. You're good at suffering. Aren't you tired? I'm tired. I don't like being told I'm strong. I know. I don't want a medal for being strong. I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. I don't want a medal for being able to suffer the most. I don't want it. And you also don't get a gold star from the universe for suffering the most. That's not what we're here to do. So, Spirit, what the hell do you want them to do about it? Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm tapping into some people who are older because that felt like, it's like I could totally see someone who's in their 40s or 50s being like, okay, but what the hell do you want me to do about it? It's like full grown, being like, all right then, smart aleck, what do you want? 31. Someone could be 31, but that adds up to 8. So karma, strength, power, things balancing out. 6 of Wands in reversed. That's interesting. Clarify, because I don't think you want them to do that. Can you clarify that? The 6 of Wands reversed is like not being recognized. I doubt that's what they're saying. So can you clarify, please? Clarify the 6 of Wands in reverse. Unless you're telling them to not throw a pity party, to which I say that's rather rude, Spirit. Can you clarify the 6 of Wands in reverse, please? The Hierophant reversed. Okay. Oh, I see. All right. You're not going to get a parade or your recognition by listening to what everyone else tells you to do, okay? They're telling you that it's time to be unconventional and different. It's time to go different. If everybody told you that the key to your success is to do what you've been doing, but you haven't had your parade yet, you need to stop listening to them because clearly that's not how it's going to happen. You're the person in this lifetime who's supposed to go against the family wishes, who's supposed to break free from the family line. And that doesn't mean you cut everyone off in your family. I'm not telling you to do that, right? You're the one who's supposed to be different. Yeah. Everyone else is the 9-to-5er. You're the entrepreneur in the family. Congratulations. I know exactly how that feels. That's me. I'm the entrepreneur in the family. I can't do 9-to-5. I've tried. And more than once, I promise you. I've definitely given it a go. It has not worked out for me. Yeah, you could be someone who, like, you go to do 9 to 5s and you show up and you do your job, but for whatever reason, like, your car gets totaled, so you can't go to work anymore, or you have a huge injury, so you can't go to work anymore. And it like for whatever reason, it feels like the universe refuses to let you work. That's your sign, because that's happened to me. Every time I had a new job, it was like my car would have problems, or freaking pandemic happens and everyone gets massive layoffs. I'm like, okay, clearly that's not the direction I'm supposed to go in. What else do you want them to do about it, Spirit? Yeah, don't follow the crowd. Yeah, that's cool. So you see how the Six of Wands, she's going one way, following the crowd. Following the crowds, they're all going in one direction. I'm gonna just, there we go. And the Hierophant's looking the other way. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And they're by themselves too. The Hierophant literally talks about tradition, society, religion, authority figures. Ah, welcome to your rebellious arc. Let's go. What else do you need them to do about it, Spirit? Oh. What else do you need them to do about it? That's fun. This is the villain arc. That's funny. People aren't going to like it. Tough. Thank you. That Page of Swords in the reverse. Like I just said, people aren't going to like it. They're not going to like that you're different, but who cares? Who gives a shit? Respectfully. Who cares? 808. Yeah. Karma. Who cares? Karma, strength, and power. Balancing out. Like, really, who cares? Yeah, people might, because you make this decision, people might feel a way about it, and you might lose people in the process, but who gives a damn? Because honestly, if they like seeing you miserable, they don't deserve to be in your life. What else do they need to do about it, Spirit? Thank you. There's that sideways cards again. Up or down? Down. Yeah, it's like not working with, it's this repeating message of don't listen, don't work with the people who want you to stay in this energy you're already in. I really feel like this is the type of crowd I always attract, is the people who need to break away from the tradition. And I feel like I repeat myself all the time. But people need to hear it. Just because your entire family is a bunch of shoemakers and they want you to be a shoemaker, but you hate shoes, doesn't mean you should be a shoemaker. Yeah. Why? Yeah, Ten of Swords. That's just betraying yourself. Why would you do that? Yeah, don't work with the people who will lead you to more self-betrayal. That is not your sign to cut off every single person in your life, okay? That's just the people who get the most angry. We'll have the people who will be like, what? Why would you do that? But they'll still support your decision. They'll be like, okay, it's your life. I'm talking about the people who have something to say at every opportunity, and you know who they are. You probably know exactly which ones are going to have something to say about it, look at you sideways, make passive-aggressive remarks. Love the soul, not the behavior. Thank you. Two of Cups reversed and the Page of Cups. Yeah. Avoid the takers. Avoid the people who literally want you to stay in that energy. You deserve to be this person with your little fish in the cup. You have different ideas. You're different. You're creative, and you should be pursuing those things. Because what you're doing right now is overgiving. You are overgiving where you don't need to be giving. Yeah, you are overworking in a place you should not be working at. Clearly, you need to pivot. And this is not me telling you to quit your job. Like, you can shop for a new job while at your job. It's way easier to find a new job while working. So please, stay stable. But if you've been feeling the urge to go do something else, this is your sign to start putting the resumes out there and looking for something different. Especially if you are very much bogged down and hating this position, okay? And if you just started something new and you left behind this and you've been going back and forth on whether you made the right choice, yes, you did. Yes. What else do they need to do about it, Spirit? Yeah, don't listen to the opinions. 7 of Wands in the reverse, right? We had that 7 of Wands earlier, and I told you that is all about fending off unsolicited advice, opinions you didn't ask for. Don't worry about that, okay? If people have they're going to have their opinions, okay? If they don't pay your bills and they are not in your meat suit, their opinion is irrelevant. It's just words. Thank you, Spirit. And this one's sideways. Oh, 2 sideways. Up or down? Still sideways. Okay. So, yeah, you have to make the choice whether you stay or go. The 6 of Swords is all about leaving. You have to decide. Up or down? Up. The Devil. That's interesting that it's up. Leaving behind those worries. Remember how I said earlier you felt like you could never do anything because you had all those obligations, worries, and responsibilities? Spirit's telling you to let those go. Obviously, if you have kids, you know, right? You know what you should be putting down and picking up, right? But I do see this Devil here. That's interesting that it's upright, because normally that's like vices, addictions, the shadow side. But I'm not getting that here. It's like, clarify this Devil for me. Because I want to say it's kind of more like, you know how you have your angel and your demon in cartoons and stuff like that? There's the angel and the demon, and one of them is saying, you should do this, and the other one says, you should do this. It kind of feels more like the devil on your shoulder, quote unquote, is saying, like, you should go be an entrepreneur. And the angel's like, no, you should be a shoemaker like the rest of your family. It's kind of like, maybe you should. But I want to clarify, because I don't want to tell you to listen to the devil. I will literally get... I can already hear the offended gasps, okay? I'm not telling you to listen to the devil. Clarify this Devil for me, Spirit. It kind of feels more like it's do the different thing. Like you decide whether you stay or go, but they're saying you should listen to your playful side. Come on, Spirit. Clarify this Devil, because I know you would never tell me. The Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, go towards the new thing. Yes. Yeah. So this thing that feels like it's scary, like you shouldn't do it, this new venture that will offend a lot of people around you, you should do it. I mean, it's your choice. Free will must be respected, right? They say you get to decide whether you stay or go, but they're recommending you go towards that little pentacle. That's what they're recommending. What else should they do, Spirit? Yeah, be the black sheep. Why be with the herd? The Hanged Man and the 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, a shift in perspective around... Maybe you feel like if you go for the new thing, you're going to be shunned and ostracized. Hello. You feel like, oh, if I do this thing, I'm going to get shut out of my family. I'm going to get shut out from my friend group. I'm going to face a whole lot of flack. I'm going to have a hard time. But you've already been going through such a hard time. We already had the 5 of Pentacles in reversed here. You already feel like you're stuck in this never-ending poverty circle, this never-ending victimization, feeling like the system's rigged against you, that kind of thing. So, like, if we're already feeling that way, why not change it? It's a shift in perspective. Like I said, if people are so comfortable with seeing you unhappy, they shouldn't be in your life in the first place. Who cares? I think that you should surround yourself with the people who love to see you happy. That's what I think. The people who see that you're unhappy and say, you should try something different. The Star reversed. Interesting. Clarify the Star reversed. Because the Star reversed is like not healing. But I doubt that that's what they're saying. Oh, maybe the shift in perspective. Yeah, you feel like you'll be ostracized and you won't heal. You'll never like reach that level. But that's not true. There's just a perspective shift. Like if you're really being shunned by people who are so happy with you being unhappy, are you really being shunned? I feel like that's a win, honestly. Because you don't have to, you're not surrounded by people who like seeing you unhappy. Who were comfortable when you were small. Clarify the Star? Yeah, the Strength reversed. Yeah. And that antsy feeling. Yeah, the people who are happy with you living in this, always feeling like you never have enough. Always feeling like you have to work yourself into the ground, this restlessness, this anxiety. Who cares if you're shunned by them? You're already being shunned by them. You're already being ostracized because they're happy with you suffering. So leave. Walk away. Choose the different path. You're already suffering. Why would you stay where it hurts? There's that 808 again. Like I'm telling you, these big changes are coming. This is helping you see so you can make that change. So you can go forward and stop suffering. Stop hurting yourself. Stop being around people who are cool with you being in this mess. Yeah, it's like being the poor friend surrounded by a bunch of rich friends who are fine with you being poor. Yuck. No, you shouldn't do that. You should take the stable route. Why? The stable route hasn't done anything but make me suffer. Yeah, the Page of Wands. Yeah, head on out. Head on out and go after the new. Because look how beautiful and bright and golden the new is versus that leaving it behind. You see how he's heading off straight into the golden opportunities? Yeah. I think spirits, like, they decide. They decide. They're telling you that you decide whether you stay or go. Whether you get on this little boat and you travel off and you pursue what actually makes you happy. Yeah. This whole feeling like if I choose different, I'm a failure. I failed at what I did. No, you didn't. You actually went and you did the thing and you decided it wasn't for you. The end. There's no you failed. Now you're going to go be great at this new thing. Anything else, Spirit, or should I move into the advice? Thank you. And there's that Six of Pentacles. Yeah. That's so interesting because the Six of Pentacles, right? It's like Six of Pentacles is the give and take. It's the balancing of the scales. It's the reciprocity, having enough to give to others. This leaving this behind and going towards this opportunity is going to help you get into this state. Just straight up. That's what Spirit wants you to do. They're advising it, right? They can't force you to do anything. They can't make you do anything. That's not how it works. Free will must be respected above all. But they are strongly encouraging you to look at this perspective you have, this wound that you have, because it is a repeating cycle in your life. And if you are able to choose different, you will be able to get to what you want, because what you want is it wants you. So if you're someone who wants this wealth and actually have plans for it, of helping others with it, you're destined to get to that wealth. It's just a matter of when you decide that it's time for you to go chase it, instead of listening to, quite honestly, if you're looking at someone's life, like the next time someone gives you an opinion or advice, Look at their life. If you like their lifestyle, right? If you like the way that they live, listen to their advice. If you do not like the way that they live, don't listen to their advice. Unless they're telling you don't do this or you'll end up like me, right? Because if you listen to their advice, you end up where they're at. And if you don't like it, don't listen to it. Just don't. And Spirit doesn't want you to listen to these people's advice either. If they're so comfortable with you being miserable and in this repeating cycle of suffering, stop listening to their advice, because their advice is just keeping you stuck in the same loop. Yeah, like Groundhog Day. This constant nonsense. So I'm going to move into the advice oracle cards. I like to use them because they have sentences that will help you think more on this as you progress forward. Before I get into that, though, I do like to do a quick recap. I post a short summarized video of the lives for anyone who doesn't make it. So just bear with me real fast, and I will move into the advice for you going forward. So, this collective feels like they're being punished by the universe. They feel like they can't ever make plans because they're always too busy. They have too many responsibilities and too many obligations, even though they're trying very, very hard to build a legacy for themselves. They feel like they're always working. If I stop working, if I take a vacation, I'm not going to get my abundance. I'm not going to have my wealth. I'm not going to have whatever the case may be for you, your abundance, health, wealth, and home, right? If I take a break, somehow that will cause all of it to fall down. And we feel like life is very unfair. We're constantly anxious. We're constantly restless. We're constantly worrying about our finances. Finances, health, you know what it is. In reality, though, you're actually a King of Pentacles. You're actually someone who is very much a stable person. You're very reliable. You're very dependable. You're very good at what you do, right? And you're actually someone who is also very good to others. You're someone who believes in, you could be someone who is very much a humanitarian. You believe in helping other people. So I definitely see you as, if you are working in a company, you would be someone who always shows up on time. And if you're maybe 5 minutes late, you know, life, but you do your job, you do exactly what you should, and you leave. Like, you're the dependable one. You're probably the backbone of the company and they just won't admit it, right? Recently, you've been looking at your life and you're not really happy with what you're seeing. You're not happy with where you've gone career-wise or finance-wise. There's this deep, like, looking at it and being very dissatisfied. You want to chase after something new, right? You're already looking forward and you want to chase after something new. Your heart is calling for you to go somewhere else. Your heart wants you to pursue a new thing, a new passion, right? It would mean starting over completely new, and that is terrifying, right? That is terrifying. There's this wanting to start over, but it's a little bit scary, right? A perspective shift needs to happen, right, in order to get to that new beginning. And the reason I'm saying that is because we're currently in an armor, right? We're currently wearing this shell, and we are afraid to peel back the layers and look underneath. There is definitely a deep wound around our expression and our confidence. We feel like we can't start over new. We feel like we have to stay where we're at because for some reason we feel like we're not capable, we're not hardworking enough, we're not dependable enough in order to bring in the abundance that we so desire. Yeah, with this Nine of Pentacles is right. We feel like we're not capable, which is bullshit, because I see right here that you are entirely dependable. All right. I don't know who told you that, but they're a fucking liar. Oop, they're a liar. I gotta watch my words. And this has left you in deep disappointment, deep grief, right? Because it's like you can't really win. You're like, I can't get enough while I'm here, but I also, like, I can't leave. There's that feeling. I can't start over new because I'm not capable. I can't make it happen because being new somehow means, like, you forgot that you were new when your current space, you know, you forgot that you were new once, and now you feel like you can't go be new again because you're too old or whatever the case may be. That is a wound of yours that needs to be looked at. That needs to be Like you need to go shed some light on that. You're feeling very guarded. Yeah, we're feeling guarded. We don't want to look at the wound. We don't want to look at it. It hurts. I don't want to look at it, right? But we're currently in this, all of these retrogrades happening right now are here for a reason. The emotions that come up, those feelings that come up are being shown to you for you to heal them. This is a time of balancing your self-sabotaging behaviors. This is the time of healing those deep-seated wounds, right? You are the King of Pentacles. You are the King of Wands. You are ambitious. You are passionate. You are creative. You are entirely capable of bringing forth the life that you desire. Okay? Yes, you are. Don't argue with me. Okay? You are, though. I see it. It's clear as day to me that there's no reason why you can't go be new and be awesome at it. Okay? Why you are hearing this from me, why I'm yelling at you, is because, again, you are balancing. You're balancing the inner go, go, go. I have to work myself into the ground. I'm not allowed to rest. I'm not allowed to take a day off. I'm not allowed to enjoy my life while pursuing the life that I want, which makes no sense, right? But I understand. I'm not calling you dumb. That's how society is, okay? You're in your head about it. You're constantly having nightmares over it. You're worried about it. You're anxious about it. And you just, there's this serious scarcity mindset. Maybe you've been homeless before. Maybe you've been really poor your whole life. But there's this constant fear of staying that way. No matter what I do, I will always be that way. I'm doomed. I'm doomed to be poor. I'm doomed to repeat those cycles. I'm doomed to never have enough. And you're hearing it because right now we're on that moment. We're in the in-between of repeating the same cycles of never being happy, of choosing the same decisions over and over again and trying, like thinking that'll change the outcome, versus choosing different this time and actually having the happiness that we're trying to get, right? We've already been bored. We're already bored. We're already tired of this current life. We're already feeling like we've doomed ourselves. We've pinned ourselves into this constant grind, into this never being able to enjoy the sunset, right? We feel like we're stuck there. We're tired. And it feels like, should I continue putting in that daily effort? Should I continue the grind? Should I continue plugging in day after day and hoping that things get better? Or should I leave this mother flipper, right? Should I head on out? And again, there's that beautiful moon, right? Spirit's saying you got to shine some light on that armor. We're hiding in some armor here. We're hiding, and it's right in between our independent side and the tame obedient side. They want for you to look at this armor that you're hiding, that you don't want anyone to look at. You want to be recognized. And I'm going to say it again for people who just joined. If you have a parent who never said they were proud of you, congratulations, you're my child now. I'm proud of you. Yes, I'm a mom. I'm a certified parent. I'm proud of you. Thank you for existing. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for going to work. Thank you for breathing today. And thank you for being you. You're doing an amazing job, and I'm very proud of you, okay? You want to be accepted. You want to be recognized. You want someone to tell you that you're doing a good job because you have deep internalized wounds around this. You have deep internalized wounds, internalized pain around people not recognizing your efforts. And this is your wake-up call. This is your wake-up call right now, okay? Your wake-up call right now is recognizing that you're not happy where you're at and trying to change the cycle. You're trying to break out of the Groundhog Day, okay? We're trying to get out of the circle, the never-ending repeating cycle. This is the wake-up call. Because we're trying to get our emotional happiness, that little 10 of cups, that emotional fulfillment. That's what we want. That's all we want. We have all these people who come in our lives who have given us all of their unsolicited advice, all of their opinions on why we can't do the thing, why we should only stick to this specific way. And it's made us very guarded. It's made us very guarded towards any sort of motivation or desire to do anything different, right? Anytime we're like, maybe I should, here he is to remind us of all the reasons why we shouldn't do that. And what that's doing is that's you ignoring your own soul. That's you ignoring your own intuition. That's you ignoring your own soul calling to you to your purpose on this earth. Okay? That is you choosing the scarcity mindset. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that to make you feel a type of way. That is to bring it to your awareness. Okay? Because we've all been there. We all do it. I see the smoke coming in. Negativity is being cleared. That's being cleansed from your life. You're trying to clear it. By choosing this never-ending scarcity cycle, we end up constantly being overbusy, constantly getting our priorities mixed up, constantly not taking care of ourselves. As I said before, you are your most valuable asset. Your body is the thing that brings the money in. You show up to the job, you put in the work. You're the reason you have money. Okay? I don't care what the CEO says. I don't care. You're the reason you have money. And you need to remember that. Take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't get money. You can't you can't be healthy if you don't take care of yourself. You can't have money if you don't take care of yourself. You can't enjoy your life if you don't take care of yourself. Remember that. You're the reason you have money. You're the reason you're able to live. So remember that and take care of yourself. You're your most valuable asset, okay? And if you don't believe me, go listen to the certified financial person, Scarlett Cochran from The Bespoke Life. She will say the same thing. That's where I heard it from, okay? And she has the degrees to prove it. Now, we're also hearing this at this time because we're currently drowning in our emotions around this. That's okay. In order to heal the emotion, we must feel the emotion, right? We're drowning in our emotions about it. We're under the water right now. And we feel like we can't ever celebrate ourselves. We can't ever do anything because we're not working hard enough. Okay? We're not put on this earth to suffer until we die. Okay? You don't need to work hard enough to suddenly earn a life. You were born, therefore you earned your life. Okay? So, what they want you to do about it, okay? They don't want you to follow the crowd. Okay? The Six of Wands, you see how they're kind of going forward? They're having this little parade. You've been trying to get a parade from the people around you. You've been trying to get your recognition, listening to them and following what they want. They haven't given you one. So Spirit's telling you to break tradition, break convention, break their expectations, and go do your own damn thing. You see how they're by themselves going their own way instead of trying to get this parade that's never coming? You need to go your own way. People aren't going to like it. Tough shit. Okay? They're not going to like it. Don't listen to them. Okay? Anyone who shows up and is mad at you for making changes to chase after your happiness, anyone who tells you that you can't be happy, you should stop listening to them. Spirit doesn't want you to work with them because that just leads to more self-betrayal. You've already been here. Aren't you tired of having swords in your back? Aren't you tired? They don't want you to listen to them because those people aren't properly giving you what you deserve. You're overgiving. You're overgiving at this job that doesn't give you what you deserve. You're not happy there. If they were giving what they should be giving, you'd be happy there. Just straight up. You're this little Page of Cups. You have a fish in your cup. You're meant to be different. Okay? You're different. If we were all meant to be the same, I wouldn't look like me and you wouldn't look like you. We would all look exactly the same. We would all be the same gender. We would all look the same. We would all speak the same. We would all be the same. That's not the point. Okay? Yeah, they don't want for you to continue to listen to these opinions. They don't want for you to listen to the advice. No matter how well-meaning the advice is, well-meaning advice does not mean it's good advice, okay? If you do not like the way someone's living, if you do not like their lifestyle, stop listening to them. Otherwise, you'll end up in, like, if you follow their advice, you'll end up where they're at. Unless it's advice saying, don't do this or you'll end up like me, then by all means, listen all you want, right? Listen to the advice of people whose life looks and feels like exactly what you want. That's who you should listen to because then you'll get there, okay? And free will must be respected at all times. Spirit wants you to decide, do you continue to stay the same? Do you continue this path? Or do you leave? Do you head on out? Do you pick a new mindset? Do you pick your own way? What do? Spirit will respect your decision. The whole point of us being here is that free will must be respected, right? So they're like, okay, you want to change the cycle, you want to complete the cycle, so you decide. Do we do this rodeo again, or do we do it different? Your choice. I got infinity to do this. I got all of time to do this, so you decide, okay? Well, if it resonates, then it resonates. And it's funny because I saw it say the devil here, and I was like, I so doubt that they want you to listen to the devil. But I had this image in my head of the angel and the devil on your shoulder, and the one on the side being like, you should do what your family says. You should be the shoemaker like everyone in your family. You should listen to them. You should keep plugging it in at the job that you hate. And then you had the little little devil here. Someone's name could be Devin. It is 555. Big changes coming. You have that little devil here being like, I think you should not be a shoemaker. You should go do that thing you want to do, right? And Spirit wants you to listen. Listen to the one who wants you to not do that anymore, right? They want you to go after this little pentacle. Yeah, and you may be worried that by doing this, by making this shift, you're going to end up being ostracized. You're going to end up, you're going to end up being shunned, tossed out in the cold. People aren't going to like you and all this stuff. They're going to deem you a failure and all that. My friend, gorgeous soul who showed up on my timeline today. If people hate you for being happy, leave them where they're at. People who are happy with you being unhappy have no business being in your life, okay? If they're going to bully you for choosing yourself, let them. Don't keep them in your life. Head right on out. Why is it so bad to be happy? Don't keep them in your life. Because they were fine with you being anxious, upset, forever tired. They are tired but not getting enough sleep. They were fine seeing you like that. They were fine seeing you struggling, right? They were fine seeing you at your lowest. They were fine seeing you when you weren't healed. They were fine seeing you like that. They want you to leave it behind. Why stay around people and listen to people who are cool with you being unhappy? And we're worried because we're like, I put all this time and effort into it, right? Look what happens when you head on off into the mountains. A new beginning. Look at all that gold right there. The wand represents motivation, it represents creativity, it represents passion, it represents all that fire in your life. Let's play Minecraft episode. Okay, give me 1 second. And then the Six of Pentacles right after that. We head off towards the reciprocity, towards having the ability to have enough to give to others. But it's your choice. Free will must be respected, right? That's the recap, okay? And I am going to get into the advice cards here in a second to help you, but my kiddo wants me to do something really quick, so just bear with me for a second. Let's play Minecraft episode what? Oh, Lord, how the heck am I going to do this? Hold on. So just bear with me for a second, guys. I know I'm the only one up, so I'm the only one who can get help for this. But that is the what you should do about it. I want to get into the oracle. It gives little sentences that provides you with something to think on before you head into the next chapter, before you make your decision. Okay. Let's play. All right. So sorry about that. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for thank you for waiting for me. and get into this. Not to take up more of your time. So yeah, they have little sentences on them that should help you while you think. And they have little animals for extra confirmation if you're searching for it. So let's get into it on what you should do next, and advice as you go forward. Like, I really do. It really makes me feel some type of way when there are people in life who are comfortable with you being unhappy. I've been there. I know what it's like to be bullied. I know what it's like when people are cool with me crying alone in a closet. I know exactly what that's like. So it makes me feel a type of way. And I'm so sorry that you're going through that and that you feel like you're alone and that there's no support. I believe in you, and I think that you'll make the choice that will lead you to your highest good. I think you'll break the cycle, and I think you will go do the damn thing and be happy. That's what I think. Let's ease their anxieties. Let's calm their fears. Let's give them some advice to help them move forward on their path. What advice do you have for them as they move forward regarding their career and reputation towards the message that you brought them today? What advice do you have for them? Advice, please. Advice, please. Beautiful. 24 with bring your dreams to life. And all this beautiful light blue. That stone I mentioned earlier, Amazonite, I'm not sure how you say it, but it's this color. It's this gorgeous blue, this beautiful turquoise color, and it's a stone that brings in harmony, balance, and communication, right? This is all about that self-expression, that throat chakra, and it talks about bringing your dreams to life. They want for you to go after your dreams. Someone here could be 24, right? But they want for you to choose the thing. They want for you to follow passion's lead. Okay? Yes. Co-create with spirit with the crow, the 17. Yeah, they're trying to lead you towards what your soul is calling for, and they're asking for you to, like, they're offering their hand, right? You're saying, I want to change, I want things to be different, and they're offering their hand. Are you going to take it? I think you should. Because I'll say I did once. Yeah. I woke up one morning and felt like an NPC in my own life. And I had a crazy dream that night of meeting. Yeah. I met a person that I'd never seen before who told me that I knew exactly who they were. Turns out it was the first deity I've ever worked with. And I don't know, my life has been way better since doing that. Ever since I started following spirit, I've had a much better time. So I will always recommend it. I will always recommend listening to spirit. I will always recommend choosing yourself. And many people will be like, you shouldn't listen to ghosts, you shouldn't listen to spirit. Whatever your belief system is, okay? Believing in spirit is believing in yourself, okay? Spirit is you, and you are spirit. When you are not in a physical vessel, you are spirit. You're spirit while you're in a physical vessel. We're all the same. It's not necessarily a separate entity. It's your own soul speaking to you. Okay? If that provides you the comfort you need in order to believe in yourself, then believe that. As for me, I have different beliefs, and that's fine. It's fine. Whatever you need in order to bring yourself your happiness, in order to actually choose yourself, go that way, okay? Any other advice from my wonderful collective here today? Time for a deep dive. What did I say earlier about going to that armor and peeling it back, even though it's scary? Swans can be relevant for someone, right? 60 for that balance and harmony. That's the card of the Lovers, the number 6. You're gonna have to peel back that armor, my friend. I know. It's not fun. It sucks. It's hard, but you're going to need to. If you really want to choose yourself, you're going to need to go look at that armor and shine some light on it, because that's where the hurt is. That's why you keep repeating that cycle, is because we're not looking at the armor. We're aware of the armor, but we need to look at it and lay a solid foundation with that 6 again. Harmony and balance in the Lovers. Lay a solid foundation. Yeah, that inner core part, that where your hurt is, behind that armor that keeps you in that cycle, that's your foundation. It's not solid right now. If it was, you would not be going in a continuous loop of being dissatisfied with your life. So this is how you lay the solid foundation. You see how we went from that blue to that green? The blue to the green, the throat chakra to the heart chakra, the expression to the heart. What drives us? Yeah, the light needs to be shined on that specific part, that deep dive into the heart, in order to fix our shaky foundation. I see you, but you didn't land, so I'm not listening. And dream the world into being with the lizard. Someone could be 38. Yeah, there's that red and that orange, that root chakra, the stability, and the orange in the sacral for creativity. Yeah, you keep, every time you start dreaming about what you could be doing, trying to go after things that really light you up, you stuff it down. You don't chase it, because you feel like if you chase after it, you're not going to bring the life of your dreams to fruition. I don't know who told you that you're incapable, but I need for you to stop listening to them. Because the literal advice here is that what you want wants you. You're fully capable of achieving what you want. You've already proven it. You're already a hard worker. You're already reliable. You're already dependable. So you can do it just fine. That wound is related to your self-confidence. Make your dreams real with the spider spirit in reverse. Again, there's this feeling of it's just a dream. It's this big unachievable thing that I will never be able to have. Why? Why? But why, though? You can do it. You're already a hard worker. You're already reliable. You're already capable. Maybe instead of putting all of your time, energy, and effort into things that don't give back to you, maybe you should put all that time, energy, and effort into yourself instead and see what happens. Because if you're the backbone of that company, imagine the kind of life you can give yourself by being your own backbone. Like, seriously. We have the you are never alone with the otter spirit. I said earlier, we feel like we're alone. We feel like we'll never have the support. If we chase after our dreams, we won't have the support. You've got you. What are you talking about? You're not alone. For one, spirit's always with you. If you believe in spirit, if you believe in yourself, you're never alone. You've got you. You have all the support you need. Because in the end, when you leave this plane of existence, you'll be going with yourself. You're the number one person in your life. You're the one who will be there at your deathbed. Guaranteed. Right? You have to have you. Spirit is always with you. The people who have passed on, who are for your highest good, who loved you, who want to see you happy, they're always with you. And they don't require you to believe that they're there for them to be there. They don't require it. And I've said this many times before. There are billions of people on this planet. How do you know that they aren't going to support you? Because of a small group of people that you've dealt with in the past. How do you know that? You haven't even met all the people that are going to love you yet. You haven't met all the people of the world. So how do you know? Sometimes we start out and we think no one will ever support me, but the new job has the people who will give you the insider info to be good at new job. We just haven't met them yet. We haven't given them a chance to be supportive, to show up for us, right? Spirit brings those people in order to help you. It's a matter of, as long as you have yourself when you go in, as long as you go in with your self-belief and you go, you know what? I've gotten myself this far. I've managed to make money every month in order to support myself so I can go keep doing that. At least I know I can make what I've been making because I'm my most valuable asset. If I can go do that, there's a start, right? I can just keep doing that. And that's when you stand in that, people are attracted to that. People go, oh, they're confident. I can give them information. I can help them, right? I want to be helpful to them because they believe in themselves. They don't require handouts, right? So I feel more inclined to give. You'll find the support along the way. You don't need to know that there will be support for there to be support. You just have to show up and the support will find you, right? And if you're the type who's like, well, maybe you have to move in order to chase this dream. And you're like, oh, but if I move there, I won't know anyone. I won't have the resources I need. Every state has programs that help people, okay? It's a matter of finding the resources that will help you. If you're someone who wants to start a business, you may not be aware that they provide grants to people to start businesses. If you're a veteran, if you're a woman, they do have grants out there to help those people start businesses. It's just a matter of finding out what those are, how to apply, and how to qualify, right? Finding those resources. The support is out there. We just have to go find it. And we have to believe that it's out there. Otherwise, if we believe there's no support, we never go looking for it. We never go look for the information to provide the help we need. And don't for a second think that you shouldn't ever ask for help. There's nothing wrong with receiving support. Nothing at all. Every single, there's, no man is an island. You need people in your life, right? In order for you to get your groceries, I don't care if you order them, someone had to select those groceries, someone had to pack those groceries, and someone had to ship those groceries or deliver them to your door. You need people in your life. You don't have to get along with them all, but you do need people in your life. So allow them the chance to support you. Don't decide for them that they're going to harm you, okay? Use your discernment always. You know when someone's being sideways. You know when they're being bad to you. But don't decide that all of humanity is evil and out for themselves, okay? Humanity is a lot more... We all like dog videos and we all like cat videos. Humanity is a lot gentler and softer than we think it is. Yes. We all want the same thing. We all want to be able to eat. We all want to be able to provide a good life for our children and ourselves. And we all want to, we all want to get enough sleep. We all want to eat good food. We all want to feel healthy. We want the same stuff. Like down at our core, we want the shelter, we want the food, we want the drinkable water, and we want to have happy relationships that thrive on us, like that allow us to be happy. That's what we all want. All of humanity wants that. We want the people around us who actually like us as we are, who enjoy seeing us happy, and we enjoy seeing them happy. We want our food. We don't want to go to work. We don't want to go there and plug away and be bored. We want to do something we love. We all want to do something that we love and make money doing it. Okay? That's what we want. So allow people the chance. Allow people the chance to help you. Any more closing advice for them, Spirit, before I close it out to get started on dinner? Anything else, or is that for today? Oh my goodness. Okay. Yep, that one. It was flipped over in the deck the entire time, and I told it had to come out, so it did. Transformation is beautiful with this gorgeous butterfly. And number 11. It's in the reverse because we feel like we can't change. You can always change. You could be 105 one day from dying, and you can still change and be a different person before you go. There's no age limit. There's no time limit. You can be different every single day of your life. Every second of your life, you can choose to be different. You can choose to move different. You can be the beautiful butterfly. You can have your wings. You can fly. Okay? You can change. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you did. I don't care what your viewpoints are. You can change them at any time. Okay? Everyone deserves to be a butterfly. Everyone deserves to spread their wings and fly. You can change. Just because everyone around you decides to stay the caterpillar doesn't mean you have to. You can be the butterfly. And the caterpillars can be mad that you're the butterfly, but you're the one that gets to fly. Yeah, and the rabbit spirit, now is a lucky time. You're not unlucky. You feel like life is unlucky, unfair, like you're being punished. No, the planets are in the microwave, okay? This is literally the time of Saturn in retrograde and Jupiter in retrograde. This is the time of obstacles, delays, problems in the realm of luck and finance, okay? That's what's happening. Neptune retrograde is all about things being confusing, right? Mercury retrograde, communication problems, the internet going out, contracts not being properly signed, things taking forever, delays. Chiron retrograde, deep-seated wounds coming up for healing, repeating of cycles. That's what we're in right now. And guess what? 3 of them are in Aries for new starts, new beginnings, motivations, right? 1 is in Sagittarius and Scorpio. So optimism versus deep-rooted, intense feelings. And the other one's in Cancer, matters of the family, deep-rooted feelings. We're not unlucky. This is literally being brought to our attention to heal these wounds in order to propel us into a brighter future. This is those times in our life where Spirit brings a bunch of stuff in so that you can choose different. This is the opportunity to step through the door. Okay? What I say? Spirit has a plan. What I say? Every time they'll be like, okay, are you going to choose now? And there's that 5. A rebirth is assured. Every time Spirit's going to come in and they'll be like, okay, free will must be respected. We want to continue the loop. All right. Okay. And then they wait and then they go, okay, you said you wanted change. Here's an opportunity to change. Are we changing this time? Are you taking my hand? Or are we going through the roller coaster ride again? What do you want to do? Right? What do you want to do? Shall we stay the same? Shall we be different? What do you want to do? And it's your choice. Your free will must be respected above all else. So you decide, are we the butterfly or the caterpillar? What do you want to be? But again, I saw that if you do decide to chase after your lead, follow passion's lead, chase after your lead, chase after your dreams, if you do choose to follow passion's lead, you don't really lose. You don't really lose. Open to infinite possibility. And there's that star. I remember. Oh, that's funny. Someone asked me today. Someone made a comment and I said, "Do you want a gold star?" There's the gold star. Here's your gold star. Here's your gold star for doing everything you've done, for putting in all that hard work, all that effort. Here's your gold star. Here's your good job. Here's your I'm proud of you. Here's your recognition. I see you. Spirit sees you. They know you've worked hard. They know that you've been suffering. Here's your gold star. Now they want you to move on, okay? And I'm not being facetious. I mean it. You've done a great job. You've worked so hard. Good job. I'm proud of you. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for existing. Thank you for putting in that work. I'm sorry they don't recognize you. I'm here to say thank you for doing all that you do. Now go choose yourself. Go pour all of that into you. This is your permission slip. This is your permission slip to go chase after your dreams, to go really be who you want to be. Okay? That's from me to you. All right? So that's all that I have for you today. I hope that this was helpful. If you want a personal reading, I offer that at the link in my bio. Feel free to check that out. It is literally everything you've seen here today. Charms, dice, runes, synchronicities, channeled songs, numbers, tarot cards, and oracle advice cards. The listings on there are just the number of tarot cards, okay? It still comes with all of it. So that's what I do. I type up a little PDF that tells you what each card means in the position it is, and we put it all together and go through the journey just like I did for you here today. So see if I vibe with you, see if that's for you. If not, and this is the last I see of you, thank you for your time and your energy. Thank you for allowing me into your energy, for trusting me to be your reader today. I wish you so much luck, love, peace, joy, abundance, and healing on your journey, and that your day gets better from here on out. Remember that life is an ever crooked path and you are never off of it, okay? And if you have chosen to follow me, if you do vibe with me, I wish all the same for you, of course. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Thank you.